Oh yeah, it's your birthday. Oh yeah, it's your birthday. Hey, sorry guys, you caught me. I was in the middle of a celebration. I have been gone for a week. If you tried to check in on a video last week, you notice there was not a new one. I was actually on a little vacation, so I did not make a video. This is the midweek review with Mr. John, and I am so glad you're with me. And that is why I was in my chair dancing and celebrating, just having a good old time. I hope you guys are having a great week. I know school's starting, and some of you are just like this. But school is an exciting time. You're back with your friends. You're back to learning, and you should go in. I tell you what, you want to freak your teachers out right now? I'm going to give it to you. Go in dancing, right? Just give it. Dance like nobody's watching. It's a great thing to do. And just love school. Just enjoy it. Have fun. But let's get to our lesson today. And it is about a guy who gets super excited and has a dance. But let's get to how we get there, okay? For years and years and years, the representation of God was carried out through the Ark of the Covenant. If you remember, when Moses got the tablets and had God's word, this is one of the things that was put into the Ark of the Covenant, and it was carried around and led by Joshua when they did the Battle of Jericho and the walls came down. It represented God, and it was actually in the tabernacle, in the Holy of Holies. This is where sacrifices were made, prayers were made, and only the priest could be into where the Ark of the Covenant was, and he had to follow some really big rules while he was in there. If not, it was not good news for that priest. But anyway, the Ark was, since it was such a representation of God and of the Israelite people, God's people, it was a target, right? It was a thing that the other people, tribes, and nations wanted to get to steal basically their God. They looked at the tabernacle, or not the tabernacle, but the ark as kind of an idol for the Israelites. It was not. It was not that. It was actually God for them. And it was good that they took it from them, not for the Israelites, for the other people, because it gave a desperation and a want to get it back, right? And caused wars and everything. Well, David gets it back, and he is on his trip back, and there was a bunch of rules that went along with the ark, and one of them was that you were not allowed to touch the ark itself, because it was God, right? It represented God. Not only did it represent God, it was God, right? So what they had were these long poles, and these poles went into these little eyelets, and that's what they would carry it, or they would put it on a cart. Well, that's where the ark is. They got it on a cart, and there's some guys standing around it, and they're walking, kind of, like guarding it, like we see in today when they kind of walk by cars and on the outside. Secret Service, right? When they walk next to the president's car, they're on the outside and they just kind of walk by. They're kind of being the Secret Service for the ark, and it's going around, and it's on a cart, and the cart, remember, it's being pulled by donkeys and horses, and it hits kind of a hole, boom, and it bounces. And one of the guys, his name is Uzzah, and he reaches out, just not meaning to be disrespectful in any way, but he touches the ark, and he immediately dies. It seems kind of harsh, but we see this time and time again in the Bible. It doesn't matter if the intention is good or bad. When we break God's rules flat out, it costs us, right? Well, this scares David a bit, and he decides, well, I don't want to take it home with me. There's too much risk here. We just touch it and somebody dies. We we need to put this in a place. And they put it into the house. They give it to the house of Obed Edom. And that's the guy's name, or the family's name. And they keep the ark. They have it at their house, and they just maybe put it in the corner like a coffee table or something. I don't know. They don't put drinks on it, but they just kind of put it in. It's kind of the showcase of the house. But as the ark is in the house is flourishing. Everything is going right. Things are going good for Obed-Edom and the rest of the family. And David kind of catches wind of this and says, hey, they're getting blessed by the ark. They're getting blessed by God because they have God's ark and they're following the rules and they're doing what they need to do. And so, hey, let's go and let us retrieve the ark, and we're going to bring it back to Jerusalem. So they go and they grab the ark. They take it into, and as they get into the town of Jerusalem, all of a sudden David, the energy comes up. He decides that this is we're not just going to come into the town. We're going to have a parade into the town. And they get the guys playing the cymbals and all kinds of things. And they're boom, 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 bam, 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 right? The band is in the front. Here comes the float. The ark is kind of like the float as we see in parades. And behind is a guy who is stripped down to basically his underwear, right? Seems kind of crazy to say that, but he is kind of stripped down to his underwear, and he is full on dancing. He is in the mood. He is partying. He is happy. He's celebrating. This is like the best joyous dance you can think of, right? He is going to town on this dance. And this guy that is dancing is none other than David, the king. Doesn't that blow your mind, right? The king is out celebrating and dancing. And not only is he dancing, but he is being watched. And most of the town is celebrating with him. This is a joyous moment. God has returned. God is back, and we are in his favor. But there is somebody watching, and they are not so happy about this. It is David's wife, Michal. This is Saul's daughter, the ex-king. The king Saul had given Michal to David to marry, kind of as a peace offering when they were having their little struggles. But Michal is sitting there watching this, and she sees David. And she doesn't see really a king's actions. She sees a clown, right? She sees him more as a clown. We have the band and the float, and she kind of looks at it as he is the clown act, when he is actually the king, right? And she's not seeing that royalty, and she is embarrassed by it. But guys, I want to ask you, do you get embarrassed real easy when it comes to stuff like that, right? I know me and my wife are very, very opposite-minded people in how we do things and how we react. I am very much like a David. I am just a whim guy. I have fun with life, and I just dance. I do crazy stuff all the time. My wife, she's not quite a Michal. I just can't believe he's doing this. He's just being silly and crazy, and I don't want nothing. She's not like that, but she is more reserved. And if I get too crazy and too wild, she will have a tendency to tell me. So sometimes it is absolutely okay. It is great to just let it go. Let it out. Celebrate. Have a party. Do that. I'm not saying go to school and dance in your underwear. Don't hear me say that. I'm not telling you to do that. But man, school is starting. Celebrate. I'm sure if you go in dancing, there's going to be a lot of people going around, ooh, this guy is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? But you are celebrating this school, it's back. My friends are back. I got all these things back. And that's what David is celebrating. The ark is back in our possession. God is in the village, and we can celebrate God all we want. Now, you don't need the ark in your house to celebrate God all you want. You can celebrate it anytime. And I tell you, you should do it. Pray to him. Ask him for help. Ask him for, hey, I'm wanting a great school year. I'm sure he'll give it to you if you do and you really want it bad enough. So celebrate those things. Celebrate the big, celebrate the small. And you will just have a great time with life. And that's what David kind of showed in this. So verses coming up. We will talk to you again next week. I promise I'm not going to take another week off for a while, so I will be back. Bye. The plans of the Lord stand firm forever, the purposes of his heart through all generations. Psalm 33:11.